That's right, fans. It's Hockey Jersey Thursday. We can't believe we made it to Thursday already. And the greatest part about getting to Thursday is that tomorrow is Friday. And that means tomorrow we get the Friday song and a very special treat tomorrow, your test. Yes, so let's do Thursday, shall we? Da 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 do 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 da 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 do do. All right. Da 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 do do do. Hey now. Da 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 do do. Mr. Kovacs class. It's really fun. It's Mr. Kovacs class. You might learn a ton. It's Mr. Kovacs class. It's interesting too. It's Mr. Kovacs class. And he's super cool. It's Mr. Kovacs class. Oh, it'd be awesome to do photosynthesis. First of all, you'd be a beautiful emerald green color, right? You'd only need 3 things in your life. You wouldn't have to spend any money in the cafeteria anymore. You need carbon dioxide, Wasser, water, agua, and sunlight, or at least some kind of light. And then you could make your own food, right? Which we know, of course, is glucose, a monosaccharide, right? And then the waste product would be oxygen. That would be awesome if you could do photosynthesis, don't you think? Yesterday, speaking of awesome, yesterday I introduced you to two new words that are awesome if you play Scrabble. Xylem being one of my favorite all-time words of all time. All-time words of all time word. And phloem, one of my second favorite all-time words of all time word. Yeah, they're good words, right? I mean, they're bank in Scrabble. Phloem is like 13 points. Xylem, 17. Put xylem on a triple word score, you get 51 points. Woo! So what are the xylem and the phloem? Well, of course, they're vascular tissue. They're tissue that plants don't have. They don't have arteries and veins and circulatory systems, but they do move materials around. And they move materials around using these two vascular tissues called xylem and phloem. Xylem, phloem, xylem, phloem. And they're usually bundled together in this nice bundle. We sometimes call that a vein, but it's not truly a vein. It's actually a bundle of xylem and phloem, a bundle of vascular tissue. Okay? The xylem is involved directly in the day reaction or the light reaction of photosynthesis because the xylem carries water. Xylem carries water. The xylem's job is to keep a plant hydrated. It moves water. Our good friend H2O, right? It usually takes them from the roots all the way up to the leaves, right? And xylem moves usually against the flow of gravity to deliver water to the upper leaves on the plant, so the plant can do the light reaction of photosynthesis, can blow that water into pieces, right? And then use those pieces for the dark reaction. Xylem moves water. Xylem moves water. What I find is cool is that, like, there's no pump. They use water's adhesive and cohesive properties and air pressure, or not air pressure, but water vapor pressure in order to move water from root to leaf. And you know, some plants are pretty big, hundreds of feet tall, and they can move water from the ground to their leaves, no problem. Xylem, of course, is responsible for the rings on trees, right? When the spring comes, xylem grows very quickly, and they grow these big xylem tubes. And then they keep growing, right? But as the summer progresses, they slow down their growth as fall comes along. And then when winter comes, they stop growing altogether until the next spring, and they grow again, right? So it's like spring, summer, winter, spring, summer, fall, winter, spring, summer, fall, winter, spring, summer, fall, winter. So you can count how many years that tree has been growing by looking at the rings of xylem. Of course, I'd be remiss without talking about the phloem. The phloem is a vascular bundle that goes the opposite direction. So after the dark reaction of photosynthesis is done, it takes the glucose, right? And usually that glucose is mixed with water, and we call that mixture, that sap, we call it that sappy mixture, is that glucose mixed with water. And then the phloem carries that liquid down to the parts of the plants, from the leaves to the roots and the stem and fruits and all the things that the plant might need to store sugars in. The phloem. Phloem is important. Sugars, organic compounds, and minerals around in a plant. Sap within the phloem works its way from leaves down to the roots with help from gravity. So phloem is like, yeah, it's the sap. If you're into maple sugaring, you're always looking to tap the phloem of the tree, which is cool to know that you don't have to go that far in for the phloem. The phloem's always on the outer, right? If we're here, right, you want to tap the tree, you got to get through the bark just to the phloem, which is right here, right? So you don't have to go that far with your tap in order to do that. And then you collect the sap, and then to make maple sugar, maple syrup anyway, you boil off the water part, and you're left with a really thick, sugary liquid we call syrup. Oh, let's talk about syrup. Is making me hungry for some flapjacks, some pancakes, some hotcakes. Yeah. Hey, let's do today's class after the Bellringer. I've got, of course, Edpuzzle for you, and then we'll talk about some other things. And then remember, tomorrow is the test. Get psyched.